Yes, that the more we hear, the less we understand regarding the crisis rocking the Osun state over the removal and appointment of the state chief judge, the nominee of the state governor, Ademola Adeleke, to replace the state chief judge has been rejected by the National Judicial Council, NJC. The council insists that Justice Ademola, who was purportedly suspended by Governor Adeleke, remains the chief judge. Jide, what is happening to our dancing governor? Doesn't he understand this? And we have precedents before this now.
No, you know when this happened, I make it clear that this is borderline illiteracy. You can't claim that you do not know that you've not got the power to remove a chief judge. Governors imagine themselves to be even greater than God. You cannot just wake up one day and try to, by fiat, remove the chief judge of a state. There is separation of powers, for God's sake. You are the governor of a state, you are not an emperor.
That's an independent arm of government.
It's an independent arm of government. And then you just thought that, okay, you could appoint someone. That person refused to go now for the inauguration. He refused to go because the last person who did that,
scapegoats,
in Ekiti State, 12 years.
Destroyed his career.
12 years. He was in the cooler. The NJC taught him an exemplary lesson. And every judge knows that, look, that kind of punishment is waiting for him if for any reason he allows himself to be used by the executive. You have no power to discipline a judge. You've not got the power. It's the NJC that is vested with the power to discipline a judge. Leave the NJC to do that work. It is not your responsibility. So, and if you've heard all kinds of stories about the woman, you cannot also tell the House of Assembly to go and investigate and pass a judgment. You can't shave the head of the NJC behind his back.
At all.
You can't do that.
Anything that pertains to the judges.
The House of Assembly in Ekiti, back in 2006, suddenly woke up on the wrong side of the bed and decided that, look, let us appoint by ourselves an acting chief judge. What came out of it? The constitutional crisis led to Olurin being made
the administrator of
the state.
The governor left, they removed the governor, removed the deputy governor.
The deputy governor did not commit any offense.
I remember
but
that.
They wanted their own person to become acting.
Friday,
they wanted to become acting
this week
governor. You know, they brought them here to Akodo and were told what to go and do in Ekiti. How can an House of Assembly not have the independence to take his own decisions? They brought them. The way Obasanjo was running things, he will use the EFCC to harass House of Assembly and tell House of Assembly to go and impeach governors. Sometimes they will have 6, 7, 8 members. They will use 8 members to impeach a governor. And the same man will come and tell us that he's a great lover of democracy. You are not a lover of democracy because we saw what you did as governor. A lot of your decisions were anti-democratic. Look at how many governors, and it was a waste of time. You remove a man, they will come back, the Supreme Court will say no, you remove him wrongly, he will go back and continue in office. So I think that the NJC was right to stand firm. The executive should busy itself with its own core responsibilities. Don't dabble into judicial matters. If the CJ, if the governor, the chief judge misbehaves, the NJC is there to punish him. And we saw their judgment in the course of the week. You know? So it's not in Adeleke's place to appoint an acting CJ or to even fire the CJ that was there. And
who are those advising the governor? Because for me, I feel that somebody might have told him that, look, there's nothing that will happen, that you are the governor, go ahead with this.
Well, we always hope to see governors or leaders that at least have average intelligence above those that are acting as his advisors. Because you are the one that appoint your advisors, so you should have some kind of level of critical thinking to be able to distinguish between which advice is bad, which advice is good, which one should I take, or which one should I not take. Most of the time, these advisors are helpless. When they give you an advice, they only give you an advice based on what you already want to do. You understand? So the point of the matter is that I find it very difficult that the governor does not understand the basic principle of separation of power. Because the theory is that we must ensure disposition of power to ensure balance, so that no arm, either the judiciary, the executive, or the legislative, becomes too powerful, to have absolute power over the other. This is an age-long pillar of democracy that, without it, democracy comes to nothing. So for you to think you can even remove the chief judge of a state, it's an aberration. So if not for the NJC, you would have just gone ahead to, you should be told that, the position of a governor is not akin to being a traditional ruler of a community, where you are the cabinet, nobody questions you.
The local government chairman can question you.
I mean, you can be questioned by even the ordinary man on the street.
The local government chairman is your boss.
Yes.
As a traditional.
As a traditional. So you don't have the right to just think that, look, I have to have the chief judge in my pocket, I must have the traditional rulers in my pocket, the House of Assembly in my pocket. You have just 1 year to stay in power. And we are talking of institutions that will endure your 8-year maximum, authority in Osun State. So I'm glad that we now need to protect because there are many other ways they may want to deal with the chief judge. So the NJC should not just go to sleep. They must ensure there is adequate funding. You can go ahead to start with hunting the man.
Bukola Saraki too did this.
Yes, they might start with joint funding for, and
by the time Justice Elelu Habib won her matter, it was already too late. They knew she had already outgrown the seat, So in that way, she would think that, yes, he achieved his aim. But the judiciary should make sure that even in deciding such cases, they give expeditious hearing. Decide such matters quickly so that they don't achieve their aim. Because if you suspended a woman from office, you remove a woman from office as a CJ, you are the one who wanted her, I don't know where they quarreled. You now remove her, but the case dragged on for too long, to the point that by the time justice came, she had no time left to continue to occupy that position. Then it is not justice in the real sense, in my view. Justice has to be seen to be totally served. For someone like me to believe that, yes, justice, because at the end of the day, you cheated her. Some of the years that she would have been in office, you denied her illegally. So I think the NJC too, they need to stand firm and stop some of these schemes by governors to trample on the judiciary.
The way it is skewed, the way the executive, the power within the power given to the executive, the patronage they have, they give judges official cars, give them accommodation, do a lot of things, even to the legislature. They seem to have this kind of edge. We are just playing lip service when we say, oh, there is separation of powers, that there's an independent arm of government. But the truth of the matter is that in terms of patronage, in terms of everything else, the fate lies in the hand of their fate lies in the hand of.
It's simply abuse of power, because the funds you are using to buy vehicles for them is not your personal funds; it's public fund. The only thing is that the money comes for you to approve, and you are just a civil servant approving on behalf of people that have voted for you. You are not there for yourself. You are there to serve the side. So those funds you are approving for judiciary, it does not belong to the governor as a person. So that's one thing that people must understand. So for the fact that we are saying judiciary must be independent, does not mean that they should not get money from the state. The money is not the private property of the person in power. And that person will only spend about 8 years and go. So it's public funds. It's just abuse of power. Another assumption of their roles and responsibilities in terms of administration of the state. In other countries, of course, president, governors approve funds for the judiciary, but that does not mean that you should now use that one to blackmail them as if it's your own personal money.
We see it happening here.
Because a governor does even. They told him that they wanted to go for training, and he said, no, why do people have to go for training? Meanwhile, training is your right. It's your right. A good judge is a product of good training. You don't want to
workshops.
Refuse. Yes, all over the world. Yeah. It's even there. It's part of their this thing, an office that you can go for training and medical checkup abroad. You know, some will take medical checkup in lieu of that training. You know, because they are entitled to that. You know, so the judiciary has to be totally independent for us to get the best out of them, and financial independence is very important. Where someone believes that is the one who will give you accommodation, is the one who will do this for you, you transfer appeal court judges to Abuja. Some of the what they get, even as judges, as high court judges in some states, is better than what they are going to get in Abuja. If you are a judge in Lagos, for example, or a judge in Rivers, and they transfer you to Abuja, in fact, some of them don't like being transferred to Abuja. I'm telling you the truth. Because they know that the way they take care of them here in Lagos, or the way his government took good care of judges, going to Abuja is like being downgraded. The same SUVs that you are entitled to as a judge here is what you go and get over there. And even the accommodation will most certainly be better than what you get in Abuja, where they are all struggling in this. They are their quarters in Gudu. You know? So we need to let them have the financial autonomy. That way, they will be able to decide cases without caring whether a governor will feel embarrassed or a governor will feel bad. So that is my submission on this matter.
All right. President Bola Tinubu's intervention appeared to have resolved the political crisis in Ondo State, but more revelations have shown that all is not yet well with the southwest states. Alleged forgery of the governor's signature on official documents by some aides is opening old wounds. A few days after a constitutional lawyer, Kayode Ajulo, raised the alarm that some commissioners are forging the signature of ailing Governor Rotimi Akeredolu, the State Commissioner for Energy and Mineral Resources, Razak Obi, has confirmed that the allegation. In a letter to the State Deputy Governor, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, the commissioner said forensic analysis detected irregularities in a document returned from his ministry through the office of the Secretary of the State Government. Those states crisis is now turning to something else. Okay, I'm told by my producer that we need to take this break. When we come back, we'll talk more, still on those state crisis.
Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taurid Lagbaja Nigerian Army Medal, on behalf of officers and soldiers of the Nigerian Army, announces the commencement of the Chief of Army Staff Annual Conference 2023 with the theme, Personnel Motivation for Effective Operational Performance in a Joint Environment. The significant event will offer an avenue to comprehensively review ongoing operational engagement of the Nigerian Army in all theaters across the country. The President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is expected to grace the occasion as the special guest of honor. Date, 10th to 16th December 2023. Venue, Command Guest House, Meduguri, Borno State. Time, 8 a.m. Delhi. Brigadier General Onyema Nwachukwu, Director, Army Public Relations. Announcement.
Sales, sales, sales! Embrace the holiday spirit with a shopping extravaganza at the TVC Women's Network First Sales Fair. Join us for an amazing opportunity to explore a wide array of products and services at festive discounts. Discover irresistible offers. Mark your calendar, December 15th to 17th, 2023. Venue, TVC Communications, 1 Continental Drive off CMD Road, Ikosiketu, Lagos. Time, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily. Immerse yourself in the festive vibe with a shopping spree featuring exciting games, stunning showcases, and live performances. Wrap up your shopping list with unmissable savings. For inquiries, call 0803-284-8509. Join us for an unforgettable holiday shopping adventure. This event is brought to you by TVC Communications.
Lagos is the most visited state in Africa as the 5th largest economy on the continent. Covering the state and its government is no mean feat. It's a busy beat. We go beyond the curtain of tapes to traveling far into the deep.
I want to thank the Lagos state government for the healthcare facility.
To bring stories that cut across all spectrums.
A greater Lagos shall be ours.
We tell you stories that define our collective well-being as Lagosians. I'm Adedoja Salamadini. I live in Lagos, inside Lagos.
Thank you for staying with us. Julie, it's so unfortunate that this has degenerated to a serious political crisis.
And, you know, we've been saying that these people didn't mean well. All of the funny allegations against the deputy governor, they can't prove even one of them. And you are calling those allegations gross misconduct. What is happening is gross betrayal of the Ondo people. The people want to see governance in the real sense of the word, but people who are already planning for life beyond 2024, who want to make sure that it is someone within their own political loop that inherits Akeredolu's office. They are the ones behind all of this. Ideally, coming back from the meeting with Asiwaju, they should have transmitted power to the deputy governor so that he can function effectively as an acting governor, take big decisions, move the state forward.
Yes.
But they got back.
Cover the...
And the man made concessions. They made him sign an undated resignation letter. Why did the president do this? All to make those guys feel comfortable that, look, there's no need to continue this fight. Because they wanted to get him out of the way by all means.
And they won't dissolve the cabinet.
So, and he also promised that he would not dissolve the cabinet. But as soon as they got back, they began to behave just the way they have been behaving since Akeredolu fell ill and became incapable of functioning in his capacity as governor. I'm not surprised that these things are happening. I'm not surprised. In fact, it would have been a shock to me if they were not doing this.
But Ari Datiwa presided over the first executive council meeting some weeks back, and is it still lame duck?
If there's anything worse than lame duck, I will call him. Because they just didn't give him the power. They appointed people to take charge of local councils. He did not know about it. He did not know about it. Even the decision to do a meeting was not his decision. He can't come out now and look me eyeball to eyeball and say that I was the one who called that meeting. I mean, this is what has been happening. What is happening in Ondo State is ridiculous. People are taking the hunger for power, the appetite for power beyond the reasonable level. This is what we are saying. Why would people go to the point of forging the governor's signature and handwriting? Why? And now forensic analysis has now shown that indeed those the signatures were forged. So the EFCC has been notified. What the EFCC needs to do now is to begin to make